Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Fall is here. I have my hoodie on. I could probably be sitting with a t-shirt on right now, but I wanted to put the hoodie on because it's fall. Fall is here. I just checked the temperature. Just to say that 5 times fast. I just checked the temperature before I came out here, and it is currently 67 degrees. It has been raining all day long. They were doing the lawn earlier, and then I think they stopped because it started raining. It started like pouring down rain. It poured all night long last night, and it's been pouring all day today. So 67 degrees and rain. Feels very, very fallish outside. The leaves are falling from the trees already, which is crazy. It's crazy to think that we're in the last week of September already. And I just looked at the time before I came out here, and it is 6:54. And it's starting to get dark. I know it doesn't look like that on camera necessarily, but it's like the shadows are over there, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to start filming my vlogs a little bit earlier. Let me pull you in a little bit. Okay, don't want the tripod to fall when I do that. Okay, I'm gonna have to start filming these vlogs a little bit earlier, or I'm gonna have to sit over there with the light on because it's getting dark earlier. And I just made a cup of hot coffee today. Cheers. Just made a cup of hot coffee. This is the Modd's Cotton Candy. I'm trying to get rid of my like summer flavors because last night on Amazon, I just bought, I think I had like 6 in there, but 2 of them, one of them was a repeat of something else. It was like the exact same thing, but the box was just different. And then the other one was like the same flavor, but just a different brand. And I was like, I mean, the 4 of them are very, very similar. It's like pumpkin chai, pumpkin vanilla, pumpkin spice, and pumpkin pie. I'm like all ready for the pumpkin coffee. So I bought 4 boxes of that. I think that they may have come already because, or they already arrived. I think they already arrived because I got a box from Amazon. And I think that's the only thing left from Amazon that that hasn't arrived yet. So yeah. So I got all my other, well, my drama video is uploading right now. And I filmed a drama video today. I filmed a Peter Does Stuff video. I did a haul over there. And then I did a Peterisms video. And then, which was kind of interesting, Peterisms video is different than something that I usually talk about over there. And then I did a review video of tissue paper, of like you know, Kleenex, but that was just one of them that I reviewed. And poopery. The best deals in town is what I called it. The best deal in town, I think, is what I called it. Something like that. Because I like compared prices between it. I know, it's like totally silly, stupid review to do, but it's actually been one that I've been thinking about doing for a while. Well, not so much the poopery. The poopery I got at Costco, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to review this because it's bigger bottles and I like it. But the tissue I wanted to review because I had bought this stuff. Well, go watch the review video. I bought, it's like, I don't tell that many stories or anything. I just kind of get right into the review today, which is weird for me. But I bought these tissues on Amazon, like a big box, like a big pack of like 8 boxes. And I think Alex opened the box first, and he was like, these are junk. Like, why did you buy these? And I was like, well, I thought they were a good deal. But then when I compared them to what I got at Costco for like lotion infused Kleenex, it wasn't like really, somebody's yelling down the street. Kids riding their bikes or something. Anyway, so I did that review today, and then I also talked about the new poopery, sorry. The new poopery. I'm in a good mood today. I'm like in a really good mood today, which is crazy because I really didn't get that much sleep last night. But hold on a second. Its coffee's good, but I wouldn't say it's like one of my favorite coffees. So the other night, I've been cleaning out the kitchen. Well, there's not much to clean out the kitchen anymore, but I've been cleaning out the pantry because I have all this review food like shoved down into like the bottom where we keep the trash bags. I think I already talked about this. And Boo Radley's stuff, his treats and food. But now we're keeping his food up. Well, we've always kept it up there, but we're keeping it up there, the different kinds of food. And then so we have an area down by the trash bags where we're keeping like his treats in this box. And so there, and then like the next shelf up is just all this review food that's just shoved up in there. So I have plastic boxes or plastic containers in the basement. So I'm going through there and I'm like trying to like arrange all of it. I haven't done that part yet, but I made one whole shelf, just all my K-Pods. And then I arrange like all the soups and the beans and stuff like that Alex and I both use. That's a different shelf, and then the top shelf is like, we've got like light bulbs and stuff up. And then like the shelf part of it is like where he keeps like his snacks and stuff like that, or like things that I don't usually eat. And so I actually have a bunch of stuff that I'm sending with him to take to work tomorrow, because every time I review something, I just put it up there on his shelf. And I said to him last night, I said, do you, like, should I just give this stuff away, or like, do you want it? And he's like, what? And I was like, the stuff that I've like put up on your shelf, like all the Takis and all that kind of stuff. He goes, if I didn't buy it, I don't want it. And I go, okay, well, I bought all this stuff and I've been like putting it on your shelf. He goes, I know, I thought you were gonna, it was like for you. He goes, but I didn't think you were gonna eat it because of your weight loss journey. And I go, yeah. And I go, so do you want them? He goes, if I didn't buy them, I don't want them. And I go, well, can you just take them to work then? He's like, yeah. He goes, just put them all together for me and I'll take them to work. So I've got to go through the pantry tonight, because I've got like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 bags of Takis up there. And some other stuff, like these Nutella cookies and some other stuff that I'm just going to send to him to work tomorrow that they can put in the kitchen. So anyway, because he doesn't want them. He's like, I'm not going to eat them. I mean, he's very specific about what he eats. He likes like golden Oreos. He likes gummy bears, which he doesn't have any of those right now. He has he likes the Sour Patch candies, the Sour Patch Kids, and the but he doesn't have those. He has Sour Patch something else. It's not fish. I don't know what it is. But sours. He gets a big bag of those sours. But then he only ever eats like, see, I would be great if I could eat like this. He'll go in there and get like a handful of popcorn. He's like Smart Pop. He's got that up there. He likes the spicy nacho Doritos or spicy Doritos. He's got a bag of those up there. But he'll go in there and get like one handful and like eat them while he's taking Boo Radley out. Or eat a couple handfuls while he's watching a TV show and then puts them away. Like, he's done. I'm not like that. I can't have this crap in the house. So yeah, I know that there's like this misconception that like I feel like I've addressed this since I started the review channel, that like if I review things, then like I'm eating everything that I review, when literally whatever I show that I'm eating on camera is like the extent to what I'm eating. The one small bag of the ranch Takis out of like the last month of stuff I've reviewed, like those were the only things that I ended up eating, and I ended up eating them over like 3 or 4 days, and it was like a small bag of Takis. But everything else, like, I mean, I either give it away, you know, to people. I give a lot of it away to, like, you know, Caroline and stuff like that. When I'm like, take it home, take it with you, you know, for David and his girlfriend. So anyway, so I've been cleaning that out. So I have one whole shelf that's all like my K-Pods. And so I have like the eggnog K-Pod in there, and like the Kauai coffee, and I have the herbal teas. I have it all like situated how I want it. So I just go in there and then I like fill up the drawer with what I want. Well, I've been trying to go through here because I have a lot of blueberry coffee. I think Joanne sent me some blueberry coffee, so I have that in there. I'm almost at the end of that. Don't send me any blueberry coffee right now. I'm trying to do like, just like, blueberry is more of like a summer coffee for me. Spring and summer coffee. So I'm trying to just do like fall scents. I appreciate any time that some people send me stuff. I think it's really, really nice. But I'm just saying, because if I say if I'm out of it, and somebody will send me a box of it, which is really, really nice. But so I have some chai tea in there, and then I think Joanne actually sent me that too. I really like that chai tea, but I have a big box of it. And then I have it's like this Mods. I like that Mods coffee. It's like these pink K-Pods. Well, the top of it's pink, the bottom's white. And it says cotton candy on it. And then I have blueberry. And then I have butter rum. I don't really like that one very much. It's like, tastes like cake. And then I have oh, the new one that I got. I don't like it as, okay, so it's the IHOP, and it's like the frosted pancakes or something like that. The one before that I got, the IHOP, was the buttery pancakes coffee, and I really, really like that. And I actually have a box in the garage. I have like one box in the closet, in the pantry, but then I have a big box in the garage of like 5 more boxes of that, because I bought like a surplus amount of them. But I have just one of those in the closet. But that's more of kind of like a fall-winter one to me, I think. Stronger roast. No, I don't know. It's smokier. I don't know. I like it. It's like more of a fall. Like, it's stronger, you know? And then I have the 2 Kauai coffee bags in there, and then I have some herbal tea and stuff like that. So I try to keep an arrangement, so whatever I want. But I've been trying to use the more summer K-Pods. Do you guys ever think that way? Am I the only one that thinks that way? Like, gotta get rid of like I mean, I don't want to drink cotton candy on Halloween. You know what I mean? Although I guess candy, but it's more of like, that's more of like a summer. I think cotton candy, I think the state fair. So I'm trying to get rid of those coffees. I drink iced coffee like when I get up and like while I'm filming videos. I usually pour myself like 1 cup and I don't even like finish it. Like the cup is sitting on the kitchen counter. I didn't even finish it. And then at night, like I might have like a cup or 2 of coffee and then herb tea. So I thought I would make myself a cup of hot coffee while I was sitting out here talking to you guys. So cheers. Yeah, I like this coffee. I like all the Mods coffees. I'll do a haul of the coffees when they all come. I'll have to look in the box and see if they're all here. But one of the brands, I think it's called Crazy Cups. I think it's like, I bought a couple years ago that brand, but I bought the holiday like variety mix, and it was like roasted chestnuts, peppermint, and they were really, really good. The roasted chestnut was one of my favorites. And so I drank those a couple years ago. There's a couple holiday flavors that I really, really like. I'm gonna have to go back into like what I bought on Amazon to look. And I've also think about this the other day because somebody said, I was talking about candles, and somebody said, well, what about those Santa candles? I mean, I don't want to be burning Santa. Those Santa candles smell like Christmas, which I mean, I like that. I like that scent all year round, but I have like so many fall candles, and I want to buy like pumpkin and apple and stuff like that through like October and November, that I don't want the Christmas candles yet, because I can use those Christmas candles in like January and February when it's like cold and snowy outside, because it smells very much like that. It smells like, I think there's one of them called like Fresh Snow or something like that. It's a 3-pack that you get, those Santa candles. I'm gonna buy those again. I love those candles. Those are my favorite candles of all. They come in those like metal tins. But anyway, I've got to go in there and look at some stuff that I'm gonna buy. And I've been looking at puzzle things. I was telling our friend Carol that the other day because at her house she has a puzzle table. And I was like, oh my God, Carol, I've been looking, this was at the funeral. And I was like, I've been looking at this like puzzle keeper thing. And she's like, I love to just go in there and make a cup of coffee. I just work on my puzzle for a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, like that life, it just sounds so, like I love that life, you know? And now, because of doing the basement, I have like all of my Halloween and fall decorations together in one big box. Has like an orange top on it, and then I have like all the Christmas decorations together, not just for like the tree, but like stuff out here. I have it like all the stuff out here like in one box, so it'll be easier to like put out more decorations this year. I was actually thinking about this today. Fernalicious and Farrah, the ferns, I'm gonna keep out here until they can't be out here anymore, till like November. I'm not going to take them inside. I'm not going to do that again with the bathtub. I've decided I'm not going to. I mean, I have more of an attachment to Fernalicious, but she's still not doing great in the back. And I'm just not going to do that this year. I'm actually going to ask my neighbor next door. I mentioned it to her, and she's like, yeah, I think I might like some ferns for my house. So if she still wants them, I'm going to give those to her. If she wants to keep them for me through the winter, then maybe she'll give them back to me next. I'll ask her if she'll do that. I'll pay her to do it if she wants to do it. But yeah, so then I can have them come back here, but I don't want to do it in the bathroom all through the winter again. I don't want to do that. And the ones in the back patio, they're doing great. I'm just going to leave them out here. I'll leave those in the back patio. I mean, I never go on the back patio. Alex goes out there, take Boo Radley out there and stuff. I'll leave those in the back patio until it's like, they're like dying and it's cold, and then we'll get rid of them. The one over here from Costco that has these, I mean, it still has these huge leaves on it. It's doing okay. I don't really want to get rid of it, but the thing is, it's like time to get mums. Like, if I'm going to get mums, I need to get them now, like this week, because, I mean, we really have like, what, 5 weeks until Halloween? Well, I guess you keep mums up through Thanksgiving too, don't you? I want to put up Christmas stuff early this year, though. Like, I really want to put up my Christmas stuff early. So, I don't know, but I want to get some mums. I'm not going to get a lot. Like, do you guys remember back in the day on the vlog, like, well, I showed on my Peter Does Stuff channel, but I get all the flowers, all that kind of stuff. I will say this, like, I liked just having, it was easy to take care of this year as far as, like, the 2 ferns, just, like, watering them. The hose is, like, over there right now because I just watered them the other day. But the 2 ferns and the planter, I did not love this planter. This was not my favorite planter. I mean, it's, like, there was very little flowering. It was all, like, greenery. Next year, I do think I want to get a few more flowers. Plus, like, 2 ferns. I hear somebody outside, but nobody's out. Where do I hear somebody? Hello? I feel like it might be my neighbor walking her dog. She, like, trains her dog when she walks it. Oh no, it's these two ladies walking down the street right here. Oh, that's my one neighbor that lives by the pool. I don't know who she's walking with though. She walks this neighborhood so much. She usually is walking these dogs. I think she walks her son's dogs. She like watches them during the day while he's at work or something. He like drops them off and then she walks them like all day long. She just retired not too long ago. So Alex is upstairs right now. He came home and he was like, I'm so tired. And I was like, he slept great last night. But I said, what are you going to do tonight? He's like, I'm just literally getting into bed and I'm watching TV. And I was like, okay. He's like, I'm going to warm up something because he has his Cuban from yesterday. He's like, I'm going to warm up something. I need it later, but I just want to... Oh, it's my neighbor. She's in her garage. I can see her across the street. Oh, there her husband just came out. What are you doing? I wondered who was whistling. There's my neighbor next door walking her dog. Who are you talking to? Is she out there in her yard? Is that her?
Yeah. Peter's talking to you though.
Is she doing plants?
Yeah, she's putting plants out.
You crazy plant lady?
I need it to rain harder.
I gotta talk to you about these plants.
Your plants?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't say any names though, because I'm filming right now.
They're dying.
No, not the hostas. I know they're dying.
Oh. Like your...
Fernalicious and Farah.
They look great.
Okay, but how would you like to take care of them for the winter and then give them back to me in the summer and I would pay you? You said you might be interested.
I do like money. But what happens if they die?
Well, then that's fine. But you do such a great job.
Yeah.
She's got all her plants in the driveway right now, and she's watering them.
I have
because of the rain. It's probably I said last night when I saw them out here.
They can't get overwatered when they're in the rain because it's so like oxygenated. And then I have a ton of buckets everywhere trying to catch the rain, so I keep rainwater around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, think about it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Farrah's so little.
I feel like I've tried to keep one inside before.
They're really easy to keep inside. I kept Fernalicious in the bathtub last year, and she was completely fine.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
You want to say hi?
What I can do? Sure.
You want to peek around and say hi?
Sure.
Say hi. There's my swimming partner.
Yeah. What I can do is when I put all of my plants inside, make sure that I have room for them, and then I'll let you know.
Okay, everybody's going to ask since you were on video, so I'm going to keep this very limited because I know you don't want to talk about it. Okay. But I'm just going to give an update on what you're preparing for all summer. It was a no-go. It didn't go well.
Yeah. He texted me like a minute or two beforehand and was like...
You want to share this on video? You don't mind? I mean, you don't have to be in the video.
No,
you can just say it.
I won't say his name. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we had been texting...
He no-showed her. He texted her like...
We'd been texting for months, and then and I also traveled
to see him. She went out of town to go see him.
So that's like Airbnb, and he is a performer. I won't say what kind.
Yeah.
And he texted me like 2 minutes before he actually gets on, and he was like, "I've been having health issues, so I won't be able to go out tonight." And so I saw him after the show. He walked me home, and he was like, "I would love to do something during the day tomorrow." And then he kept just kind of like avoiding it, or like didn't text back for hours.
She's telling you because I heard the story.
Like,
he flaked out on her.
I don't know if he like saw my outfit from backstage and was like, ew, or
you
like,
always look cute when you go out though.
Yeah.
You are hot to trot, mama.
I don't think it's hard to imagine that it would just be like the outfit. And I had like 5 minutes to talk to him when we walked home.
But you guys have been talking for a long time too.
We were like texting. I mean, it was like a sure thing.
So now you're single, and we're gonna find you.
Been single, gonna stay that way.
Okay.
I'm back to making art.
Okay, she's back to making art. Now don't say the name, but across the street, have you talked to her about her giving you plants?
I threw it out there.
Okay. Because she gave you plants last year, didn't she?
Yeah.
She gave you a banana tree or something?
Yeah, and it's actually like just now starting to die, which is weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Her plants are still doing so good outside.
I need to go talk to her about it, because maybe I like mixed the soil wrong or something. I don't know.
I still haven't shown the video of us doing our Olympic handstands in the pool.
Oh no! You have to. You have to.
I'll include it in the vlog one of these nights.
When I get all my plants in my
She's doing this right now.
When I get all my plants in my place, you should do a video walkthrough because it's gonna look so good.
Oh, I would love to do a video walkthrough of your plants.
Because I have like a nice like reading room and everything.
Because you had said something to me about that a while ago that we were going to do that. Yeah, she's nodding, yeah. But now you're going to have it. You have a little reading room.
I've been, like, cleaning
when you go up to
everything.
her door at her house, so her door you like walk up and then it's like in. She's this huge chair. It's like this like wicker chair kind of thing.
It's like yours. It's like
It's kind of like this, but it's big. It has like this thing. And she's got plants all around here and she sits out there and reads.
Yeah.
Did you see the pool? Have you seen the pool?
No. Why?
There's still water in it and the chairs are not gone and they closed it.
That they do that though. I feel like they take a long time to drain it.
Mm.
You didn't go to the party, did you?
I walked down there as it was ending. Did
Oh,
you
really?
go? Did you go?
No, I was like coming back that day.
Yeah.
My grandma called me like 5 times trying to get me to go. And I told her beforehand, I was like, Grandma, I'm not going. I'm just not.
There's only, I heard there's only like 20 people up there.
Well, is it because everyone else is too old to make it down there? Sorry.
Oh my God, you know, okay, I can't say her name. But you know the lady, you know what I'm talking about,
Maybe.
that she passed away? Did you get the message
I
about
was
it?
trying to think of who that was.
She walks all the time. She always carries a little purse with her. I sat next to her at the Eclipse. We were out there, we talked to her one day on the
Like,
street.
white
Yes.
Oh no.
She's so
She
sweet.
was so sweet.
So Alex doesn't know her. So I'm trying to find out if there's going to be a service.
Yeah.
So maybe you and I could just like run up there together and do
Yeah,
that.
I would go.
Okay.
That's so sad. I really liked her. She was so sweet.
Yeah, I loved her too. She was really nice.
I wish our directory had pictures. That would help me a lot.
Because you'd be like, I don't like this person.
Yeah, like, oh, now I know.
She's the one that told me, she said, if you're at the pool and any of these people give you a hard time, you just call me and I will take care of it right away.
Aw.
No, you said that to me.
Oh, yeah.
You
And
were
I
like,
meant it too.
and you meant it too.
And
You were
nobody
like,
used my services.
we were one time we were up there. I actually saw him walk by here. So there's a woman in our neighborhood and she has like a son that's like your age, we think. And
He's like 40.
you think he's like 40?
Yeah, I'm not. Don't age me that much yet. Yeah, he's
So-
like 41 or something.
So he has a daughter that's like in middle school and there was a friend. Well, they're up there all the time when we go up there at night. They're really nice, like well behaved. But she looked at the clock up there and she goes, okay, I'm trying to be nice, but it's time.
It was the dog, Peter. I wouldn't have said anything, but I started to walk.
Oh, the dog
pool.
was in there too.
I started, and I'm fine with the dog.
I think people think that I'm joking about like the pool stuff. Like the pool HOA drama is big, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a big deal in the
Yeah.
neighborhood. And the pickleball courts.
I don't know anything about that because I like never go.
But you hear about it.
Oh yeah, with like the paint or
The tape.
something like yeah.
Look at you go.
No, but
You saw the car that drove on
I
there?
told them to leave the pool. I want to make sure that this is.
She's
clear.
like looking at the camera right now. I want to make sure this is clear.
I asked them to leave that night because as I was walking into the pool, their dog was like "Rah, rah, rah, rah," and going crazy.
You're not supposed to have dogs in the pool area.
But I wouldn't have even minded if he hadn't been a reactive, like, sorry. So that was my chance, and I was like, all right, guys.
I think you should run for president of the HOA.
Peter would be so bad at that. My friends all, like, make bets on how late I'm going to show up to events. Like, I could not do that.
Well, I miss our pool days.
I know. But
Okay, we're gonna
do something.
We're gonna do the walking.
Yes, we're gonna go walking.
We're gonna do walking.
We could do
Our book club.
Yeah. Oh right, with the alien barbarian.
The alien barbarian
erotica
book.
stuff.
I didn't say erotica. You said that when I showed
That
it.
is what it is, though, right?
I think it is, but yeah.
Oh, also, I have another suggestion for a book.
Okay.
It's erotica, but it's like more grown up.
I
But
don't
it's
really
like-
love that stuff.
But it's supposed to be like.
I tried to explain to her what cozy mysteries were, and she's like, I don't think I'm into all that. But you read like Sarah J. Maas and all that stuff. And what's the?
Yeah, but my main thing is like thriller, mystery, sci-fi, dystopian.
Oh, what's the guy that you were reading
Game of
that
Thrones.
the Pierce guy that
Pierce Brown.
Pierce Brown. That's who because I have the first book on Audible, and I said I was going to
Red
listen
Rising.
to that. Red Rising.
Everybody needs to read Red Rising. At least the first book. It's so good.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's take a walk soon.
Okay.
I mean, not tonight, but
Yeah.
she's looked. Not tonight.
I need it. And
It's gonna rain again here any second.
yeah, I know. Mook is fun to walk with, but it was nice.
I see how well you control her. You control her just like that woman with Lassie walking down the street.
Peter, that's rude. I'm trying my best. What is it? She's almost 11 months.
Go take care of your plants. Bye, sweetie. I have such a fun neighborhood. I love my neighborhood. Everybody's talking to each other. She's in her driveway watering her plants. My neighbor on the corner comes out to check his mail. He's talking to her as I'm talking to him. I love it. So fun out here. Yeah, I don't think, did I ever show you guys the video that she took of us, like, we're in the pool, and we're like, grab the thing, and we, like, pull ourselves over, and we're like, Olympics! Anyway, oh god, that was such a fun night. I missed the pool being open. I loved the pool. I counted down last night. I was like, in bed, I was like, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. I was like, 8 months. Oh, you know what? Oh, my phone's inside uploading that video. I was like, I haven't started my pool countdown. The pool just closed, and I haven't started the pool countdown yet. Okay, so Alex said, what are you going to do? And he said, is that what I was talking about right before my neighbor came out? Yeah. So I said, what are you going to do tonight? And he was like, well, I'm going to heat up that food from yesterday and whatever in a little while. I'm not hungry right now. He goes, but I'm going to watch the show I started last night. And I was like, what did you start last night? We finished Monsters, and it was interesting because we were talking about it, and I said, what'd you think? He said, I think it's really, really sad. He goes, I 100% believe that they were abused. He was like, I just think that the 5th episode, like I said, is like really, really hard. And so we were talking about that and like how they present it and stuff like that. And I said, you know, it's interesting because Ryan Murphy's getting a lot of backlash for how he like glorified it and whatever. And he goes, I don't really feel like he did that. He goes, I don't feel like he was on the poster, and at the beginning of the show, they kind of speculated. He goes, but I almost kind of felt like he was taking, like, all of the, like, the media, of what the media was saying, what people thought about it, but, like, trying to show the background story. That was kind of his perspective on it, but he thought it was good. I said, do you think it's the best Ryan Murphy show? He goes, oh, not at all. No, not at all. He goes, but I thought it was better than Dahmer. He said, I liked it better than Dahmer. So he was like, I needed something light. And I go, so what are you watching? And he said, that Heartbreaker show. And I go, what's Heartbreaker? And he goes, I just started it last night. I'm like on the 3rd episode of, he goes, the episodes are real short. They're like a half an hour. And I go, Heartbreaker? I go, what's Heartbreaker? And he goes, you know that show that you read all those graphic novels about? He goes, somebody at, one of my friends at work was talking about it. And I told him that you read all the graphic novels, so I was going to read it. And I go, and I'm like not even connecting. And I go, Heartbreaker? I go, I've never read any graphic novels called Heartbreaker. Oh, I got to tell you about the graphic novel yesterday that I finished. And he goes, Heartstopper? I go, Heartstopper? Oh my god, I go, the 3rd season comes out October 3rd. I go, Alex, it's fantastic. He goes, well, I remember you talking about the show. He goes, but did you watch all the show? Have you watched it? Because I said it comes out October 3rd. And he goes, have you watched all the show, or do you want to watch it with me? And I go, oh no, I've watched all the show. I've read all the graphic novels. It's fantastic. Nikki ended up getting them all from the library, and she read them all too. And I said, it's so crazy how like they look just like the characters in the books. I said, it's a fantastic show. So he's watching that right now because he needed something like lighthearted to watch. He's watching that, and he's watching this Spanish-speaking show that's 3 seasons, but it's a thriller. I don't know what that is. I didn't know that it was a thriller. Maybe I did. I don't know. And then he finished Monsters. So yesterday when I got done vlogging. Oh, come on, my vlog was long yesterday. It was an hour and 45 minutes. I didn't even realize it was that long when I was sitting out here. But when I finished it, I was like, I just want to sit and read for a little bit. So I brought all my books out here, and I read a little bit of The Comfort of Crows, which is Reese Witherspoon's book for this month. It's really good. But it's a different kind of book. I mean, it's not like a fictional book. It's about this woman and just like her observations about nature, but it really just like, it centers me and it slows me down. And then I'm like reading like 3 short story anthologies. I've been reading them all summer long, like the Raymond Chandler ones and Raymond Carver, sorry. What we talk about when we talk about love. I'm on like the 6th one. I'm like so slow moving through that book. And the what's her name? Ferris Beach, Jill McCorkle, Crash Diet. I'm still reading those. So I read like 2 of the, like one of each of those books, and I'm reading that poetry book. Milk and Honey. I read a little bit more of that. And then I was like, I'm going to finish this graphic novel because I've been reading this graphic novel, but I've been reading like 5 or 10 pages a night called This One Summer. Okay. I don't even know how to explain this because I know that a lot of people like, before I started reading graphic novels, I couldn't be bothered with graphic novels. I thought they were cartoons. I didn't like them. I liked the Linda Berry cartoons back in the day, but I would have called those cartoons. I really liked the Linda Berry ones. My friends and I my one friend and I, the one that I went to elementary, junior high, high school, college, and graduate school, we used to collect the Linda Berry books. Like, It's So Magic and stuff like that. And they do kind of tell like a story of the down the street kids. It's like Marlis and Mabon, who are sisters, but it's like not each story goes into it. It's not like a graphic novel. It's like cartoons that were like printed in like newspapers, and then she put them all together like in a book. But together they kind of tell a story of that. But anyway, I didn't love graphic novels like when I would hear people talk about them. And recently they've gotten like a lot bigger. Like people are really into graphic novels now. I kind of got into them when they were really trendy. I think the Alice Oseman books, the Heartstopper books, were really kind of like what got me into them a lot. I was reading them before then, but those really, the camera stopped, but those really got me into them, the Alice Oseman, the Heartstopper books. I think the final one, the sixth one, will probably come out December or January, and it's the last one in the series, when they're like going to college, I think. So anyway, I'm constantly, like, when I'm on Amazon, I always look for, like, best new, and this one came out in, like, 2014 or something like that. I looked last night. So anyway, it's about these two girls. To be honest with you, at the beginning of it, this one girl's talking about going to a camp for lesbian, or, like, they're all it's like, I think her mom might be a lesbian, and so she goes to this camp that's run by, I don't know, she's talking about this camp, and she talks about it, like, 2 or 3 times. So I thought the book was going to be about this girl coming out. And it was these two girls that had been friends, like, since they were little kids, like, and they're now, like, 12 and 14. I think they might be closer in age, like, they might be both, like, 12 or 13, but they go to the same lake every year, and they have cottages, like, next to each other. And they're watching, like, scary movies, like, it's told, like, in current time, like, they're watching Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th, Jaws, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But then, the one girl stays with her mom and her grandma, and you don't really know much about her life, but the other girl, they're both like only children, stays with her mom and dad, and they come to the cabin every year, and they're real excited about it. And it's like the first thing she does when she gets there, she like goes and sees her friend Wendy. It's this girl, it's Rose and Wendy are the girls' names. But that girl, her parents are fighting because the mom had a miscarriage the summer before, but you, like, I'm not ruining anything for you, but it's kind of the unfolding of the story. And then they become very curious with these guys that work in this, like this gas station, convenience store, but they also like have DVDs that they rent there. So that the one girl kind of gets like a crush on this one guy. And so it's kind of all these stories together, but really what it's about is like this one summer, like this one moment in time. You guys, I finished this last night. And it's not like anything huge happens in it. It's not like anything big. It's literally just like one summer in these girls' lives. It's not a coming out thing. It's like more of like them like growing up over this one summer. I got so sad when I got done finishing it. I mean, it's just like this whole summer, like from the day they get there to the day they leave. And it reminded me a lot of like summers in my youth when it's like you go back to school and it's like all these things. It's, I think, one of the reasons why To Kill a Mockingbird has always like meant a lot to me. Like when Dill goes away, you know, he's like, see you next summer. It's very much that. It's so well done. I mean, it's not even about the pictures. It's really about the story. The story is so well done about these two girls. I can't believe I'd never heard of this before. It's called This One Summer, and it's a graphic novel. I mean, you literally could read it in one setting. I just was spacing it out. But, like, I sat out here afterwards, and I, like, literally just sat and, like, listened to the sounds of the day. And, I just kind of sat with my thoughts. Like, it reminded me a lot of, like, when I would go to Saugatuck with my dad in the summers to our boat. And I think it's funny because this girl's name was Tanya. And, she was, like, and now my best friend's name is Tanya, but I remember she was, like, from a Chicago suburb, and her parents would come there, and so, like, we had our sailboat on one side, and her sailboat was, like, down, like, a little bit on the same dock, because, like, they had all the cruise ships on, like, or all the speedboats on, like, one dock, and then they had this huge, like, this huge boat that, like, they had, like, pulled into the marina there, that had, like, sank in Lake Michigan. They had, like, pulled it in there. And they had the sailboats on another dock. And then in between were like the showers and the restaurant and stuff was. And I mean, we all slept in our boats. So I can remember like getting there, and it would be like our first summer, like our first weekend of the summer, would be like in the spring sometime. And I can see her with her little like, you know, she had that Dorothy Hamill haircut and a little t-shirt and shorts on. And my dad would be like, he'd be like, hey, Tanya. And he'd say, hey, here, there's your friend, there's your buddy, Tanya. And I'd say, oh, hi. And then it was like every summer, like for 5 summers in a row. And then I'd see her, and she'd be like, you want to go check things out? And we would just like run all over. And it just was one summer. I don't even remember it. Like, I just don't even remember like that last summer. And it was like, But she was real important to me in summers because I didn't have a lot of friends, you know? And so when we would go up there, I think her family was there like every weekend because they lived real close because Chicago's close to Saugatuck. But I can remember like every weekend that we were up there, she and I would just always like, you know, run around. I remember there was like this little like general store in the marina. It was like a little store in the marina. I can remember you can get these keychains. If you guys ever grew up around boats, you'll know what I'm talking about. But they were the keychains that were like, life vests, made out of the life vest material, but they were like oval like that. And so if you threw them in the water, your keys wouldn't sink. They would just float on top of the water. And I remember they had those in there, and they had like t-shirts and like captain's hats, but they would always have like candy, like in front, like this little like selection of candy. Caroline and I were talking about this the other day because at Sullivan's, Caroline is so dying for sprees. I have to get online and find her some sprees. Because she's like, nowhere we go do they have sprees? I want sprees so bad. Well, they had those like, do you remember those Necco things that came in like a long roll? They had those there. And I can remember getting those at that marina. I loved those things when I was a little kid, those Neccos. But anyway, I can remember they had these little like brown bags. And they would just put our candy in there. And we would just like walk around and eat like... the bit of honeys, we would eat like bit of honey, and we would like get like chewing gum, and we would just like walk around the whole weekend with these bags, I can remember. And we would get like, they would have like the Coke machine out front. And in Michigan at that time, I don't know if Michigan still does this, but if you saved bottles, you could, because I can remember when we would leave town, like my dad, like she and I, this is one of the things we would do, is we would go through and we would like find like trash, I mean, people just throwing their cans out, not bottles, cans. And you could take the can, and you could take it back to the gas station. I think you got 5 cents a can or something like that to recycle in Michigan at the time. I don't know if they still do that. I haven't been up there in years. But my dad would keep it like a trash bag next to the boat, and then we would just like throw the cans in there. And then he was like, whatever money you get, you can keep. So we would always go look for trash cans, or we'd always look like for cans and stuff like that. But this book kind of reminded me of that. It reminded me of like the ending of summer. Like, I remember... It's so weird that like the end of summer, I mean, it's so because of the rain, I'm like all of a sudden smelling like the earth just like come up. It smells like muddy. But you know, it's weird. Like when I was growing up, you know, summer started on Memorial Day weekend and then it ended after Labor Day weekend. That's how school always was. We just knew, you know. But now, as an adult, it's like every school went back to school after Labor Day. So it was like you didn't ask somebody when does school start, because you knew school started like I think it started like the Tuesday after Labor Day or the Wednesday after Labor Day or something like that. It always started on the same day. So you didn't ask somebody like when does school start, because you knew when school started, you know. Now it's like every school starts differently. Private and public schools start differently. Charter schools start differently. Every school, a lot of people are homeschooled these days. Schools are all started differently, different times. They get out at different times. And then, so that's like with my friends that have kids. And then, in this neighborhood, because it's older, but we don't really go by that anyway. I mean, school buses don't even come into this neighborhood. And then, with the pool closing, it's like, you never know when the pool's going to close until like September. And then they say, oh, we're going to, or late August. And I kind of always go by when the pool's closing. And so it kind of just caught up on me this year. All of a sudden, it was just like, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's just like yesterday or the day before, I was like, we're like September's almost over. Like I said it to Alex. Where were we? Maybe it was when we were going to the funeral, or maybe it was on brunch on Sunday. I said, can you believe that it's like September's? I think it was on brunch on Sunday. I was like, can you believe that September's almost over? I mean, here it still feels like summer isn't even over yet to me. But reading this book really kind of like felt like it sealed it for me. I can remember growing up and on our street, I mean, if I wasn't at the boat with my dad, we played outside on the street, all the kids, every single day and every single night. I mean, we played Ghosts in the Graveyard. You know, we played we were outside always. We were playing in the woods during the day, and at night after we would have dinner and stuff like that, we would come in at like 7. I mean, when it got dark was when we came. We'd stay outside sometimes after dark. I can see us like sitting in our front yard, like in little circles in the grass, like talking and telling ghost stories and stuff like that. I can remember my mom and her friends sitting on the front porch. We had like 3 brick steps that went down. They'd sit out there and like drink beer and smoke cigarettes and stuff like that, and just watch us kids playing. And you know, a lot of the neighbors did that. I remember a lot of the neighbors doing that. But I do remember, it's kind of like a very specific memory, and I don't know what year it would have been. Probably 4th or 5th grade, something like that. But I can remember like saying to one of my friends, like, in the neighborhood, we were all different ages, so it wasn't like at school the next day I'd be in class with them. Like, none of us were in the same grade. And I can remember saying, like, see you tomorrow after school or something like that. But I also kind of knew at the same time that everything was going to be different. Because even though we played outside after school, it still was different. Like, a lot of things changed. Like, kids had sports, kids had, you know, after school activities. And so summer was kind of like this time just to be free. Like I said before, like, the neighborhood was always a safe place for me. I don't know if the parents said stuff to their kids like, don't pick on Peter, but I was very accepted in the neighborhood. I mean, there was a couple incidences like with the smoking and the drinking thing that happened when we all stole like cigarettes and beer and smoked it and all that kind of stuff. Like, that was one incident. But as far as like being bullied in the neighborhood, that didn't happen. The kids were, I mean, they didn't do that to me. They didn't bully me about being gay or effeminate or anything like that. It's getting really, really dark. I don't know if it's showing up on camera or not. It still looks kind of like it's light, but I can't, to be honest with you, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really see if I'm in focus or not. But I can remember saying to somebody and like looking over my shoulder and running. We used to have this huge beech tree in our front yard and these crabapple trees on the other side. And I can remember like running up that brick walk and looking back at somebody and saying, see you tomorrow after school. But just knowing inside that it wasn't going to be the same way and being sad about that. And I also remember my neighbor. It's interesting because her mom was the one that ended up being my nurse in detox. And I was really, really good friends with her, like for 4 or 5 years. And they were moving. And I remember, like, my mom and her were close. Our moms were close. And so I can remember, like, the moving truck, they were literally getting ready to leave. Like, the moving truck was, like, getting ready to pull out of the driveway. And I ran inside. I don't know why I remember this, but I have this, like, Mrs. Switch book. Do you guys remember that book about, like, they made it into a TV movie. I ended up buying it again later because this memory meant so much to me. But it was, like, Miss Switch, the substitute teacher or something like that. It was, like, a made-for-TV show, too, like, after-school special, cartoon. My nose was, like, itching like crazy with these allergies outside. But I remember, like, I ran inside, I wanted to give her something, and I gave her this book. I don't even know why I picked that book. I just remember I ran inside and gave her that book. I think it was that book. And what was so weird was, I don't know what year that would have been. She was a year behind me. And then our friend Jessie was, like, 2 years ahead of me. And it was the three of us that used to hang around. And I can remember seeing her at junior high, but when I would have seen her at junior high, I think I was going to junior high that year, and I was going to be in 6th grade. So she would have still been in 5th grade at the elementary school. And so then when I was in 7th grade was the year that, like, nobody talked to me, and she was in 6th grade, and I can remember seeing her in the hallway, and we just kind of, like, waved to each other. Because she had completely different friends and stuff, and I didn't have any friends. And, I mean, she was always really sweet to me. Like, her mom, when I see her mom, I've seen her mom a couple times out recently. And, like, Caroline and I always run into her at, like, bookstores and stuff like that. And she'll say, oh, you know, Katie told me to tell you hi, and blah, blah, blah. She lives on the West Coast somewhere now, whatever. But, I remember that. I just remember being real sad. Like, I can't believe, like, my other friend, like, she's gonna be, like, in high school, and this other friend of mine, like, I just felt alone. I can remember that. I remember endings a lot. Like, I've talked a lot about saying goodbye to hotel rooms, like, my dad always taught me that, but I feel like I remember a lot of endings. Like, I remember, like, closing up the boat for the last time and coming back for the summer. I remember, like, the last days. I remember the last day of school, you know, like, in elementary school and stuff like that. I remember the last day of school in high school. As this is so weird that as happy as I was to get out of school and be done with high school, I can remember, like, that last day. Because I feel like we got out on, like, a Wednesday, and then graduation was on Friday. And one of my best friends, she and I had the same birthday. She was a junior. Like, 2 of my really good friends were juniors when I was a senior. And so it was weird to me that they were going to continue to go to school, and then we graduated on Friday. And I remember walking around that last day, and everybody was saying goodbye to people and stuff. And I can remember just, like, walking out to my car, like, leaving school, and being like, I'm never going to see some of these people again, ever, that I've been with every single day of school for 12 years. Like, it wasn't like everybody bullied me, but there were people that, like, I went to school with for 12 years. I mean, from 1st grade all the way through senior year, that, like, I would sit next to, that we joked in, you know, whatever, that I was friendly with. I mean, I was a quiet kid, but I was friendly with a lot of girls, you know, that to this day, like, other than, like, a reunion, maybe, like, 10 years ago, you know, or every once in a while, or I'm friends with on Facebook, like, I have never spoken to them since or anything, you know? It's like, it's so bizarre to me. And I can remember being very conscious of that, like, my last day of school, being like, I'm never going to talk to these people again. I'm never going to see them again, you know? And I think in that moment, it was like how much, like, all of what really I'd focused my attention on at that moment, I felt like I just, like, wish I hadn't, you know? I don't ever plan on leaving YouTube. I mean, I just don't. I mean, that's not my plan. I mean, I think, like, I don't plan on ever quitting this vlog, but I have said this before, and I'll talk about it again. I have thought about, like, I mean, it kind of makes me really, like, when I've thought about it on my own, I start getting really upset, like, if I ever did, like, say, okay, this is my last vlog, I'm signing off, you know, like, I don't know why that, like, makes me sad. It's just, like, I just kind of can't imagine my life not doing this now. It's, like, such a huge part of my life. Like, I'll say to Alex, I'm going to vlog, or he'll be like, have you vlogged yet today? You know, it's, like, it's just a part of my life today, and I just feel like I just love talking to you guys, and I just feel so connected. It's just, I don't do well with endings. I just don't, you know? So reading that book yesterday, like, really hit me, and then... So yeah, so last night I ended up watching, I had to wait forever. Oh, I started watching Worst Roommate Ever Season 1. I thought I had maybe watched it back in the day, but I couldn't really remember it. I thought Tanya and I had watched it, but I started watching it. The first episode, I looked familiar. I don't remember the end of it. But then the second episode didn't look familiar to me at all, and then the third episode definitely didn't. And I think I've got 2 more episodes of that to watch, because I was waiting for Sister Wives to come on, and because, like, on HBO Max or Max, and then Big Brother to come on Paramount. So when those came on, I watched those, and then I went back to watch... what do you call it? So I was watching those. So yeah, so that's what I did last night. And then I got on Amazon and I ordered all these. It was cooler last night, but it was pouring down rain. Boo Radley at one point. Okay, so Boo Radley now is, like, staying up all night, one night, and then sleeping, like, the next 2 days or something like that. It's getting really dark. I'm gonna have to stop this in a second. But anyway, last night I gave him his medicine. I gave him his medicine earlier because I asked Alex, and Alex is like, you can give him his medicine now. And so I gave it to him earlier because I thought it would relax him, because he was starting to get antsy and jumping up and jumping down and wanting to go outside every 5 minutes and whatever. And at one point, it was, like, pouring down rain, and I took him outside, and he just was like, he wanted to be in the yard. And so he, like, I was, like, right behind him, but I had just a t-shirt on, and I walked out. I mean, I was, like, right behind him, but I was getting soaked. And so I went and I stood underneath this tree where the rain wasn't, like, coming through, and he just kind of, like, walked around me. But he wanted to be out in the rain. I mean, he was, like, soaking wet when he came in. I was like, Boo Radley, you're soaking wet. He just acted like he didn't care. He was, like, running around. He liked it. So I brought him inside, but then he wanted to go right back. I gave him a treat, and then he walked right over to the front door like he wanted to go outside again. So this went on last night. I gave him his medicine. He just could not relax, little guy. I mean, he was, like, it wasn't so much the pacing. It's just... It's like he's excited. Like, he's coming up to us, and he's like, he wants to do something, and he wants to play. Well, he's been sleeping all day long, you know? So he did that till about 2 o'clock in the morning. So from, like, 8:30 to 2 o'clock in the morning, he was like, he'd sit in his bed for a second, then he'd get up. And this is what the doctor was saying, that she thinks he's, like, still kind of, like, feeling the pain or whatever. I don't know. So, I mean, he's completely fine. His eye is doing so much better and stuff like that. So... we just, like, Alex is just like, just let him just, like, run. And he's going up and down the stairs, he's going down the kitchen, he was eating his food and whatever. So, he's been, like, going through this thing, too, where, like, he's, like, one day he likes his food, the next day he doesn't like his food, we're back to that again. So that, to me, is, like, a healthy sign, because that's kind of who he's always been. But anyway, so finally... I don't know what I was watching, but, like, I took my AirPod out, because if I took my AirPod out, I could hear his, like, you know, him walking around the floor, and I didn't. And I was like, I'm not going to go upstairs, because if I disturb him, then he'll get up. So, I finally went to bed at about, I think it was, like, 5 o'clock I went to bed, and when I went up there, I was, like, very careful to get in bed and stuff like that. Well, Alex turns over, he pulls, I go, Alex, be careful, because, like, Boo was all, like, hunkered down. And all of a sudden, we're all, like, settled, the bed's settled, and Boo, like, because Alex, like, had pulled the blanket, and so it, like, moved his bed a little bit. Boo Riley stands up, and he stretches, and then he's up. So he's, like, jumps down, gets on the floor, he's, like, walking around, all this kind of stuff. He still doesn't understand the pillows around the bed. He's, like, so confusion about that. So I got up, put my clothes on, I took him outside, and I was like, I don't know if I should give him his medicine. It's, like, way early, because Alex usually gives him his medicine about 7:30. So I was like, it's way early. So I came back upstairs, and I lay down in bed, tried to get him settled, gave him a treat, and all that kind of stuff. He just was antsy. Then he was up again. So, So finally, I fell asleep for a little bit, and then I woke back up, and he was, like, standing right over me. And I looked at the clock, and it was, like, 7:10. So I took him outside again. It was raining at that point. Let him run around. It must have stopped after that, because the landscapers came, and they cut the grass and stuff like that. And then it, like, started again after that. But anyway, I took him outside, and so I don't know when it was raining today, but it was raining. I mean, it's like wet outside. And it looks like it's going to start storming any second. So I took him outside again. He ran around and was real excited, and then I gave him a treat, and I gave him his medicine. I was like, I'm going to give him his medicine. So when I took him upstairs, Alex was getting up, and I said I just gave him his medicine. He was like, thank you. And so he, like, walked back and forth in the bed, and then he went in his purple bed and he just laid down, and he literally slept for hours. I had to pick him up today to take him outside, because I was like, he's got to go outside and run around, or we're going to be dealing with the same thing tonight. Because I just think that he, like, sleeps so much now that when at night, he's, like, up, you know? I think that's part of it, is that he's, like, awake, like, because he's been sleeping all day. So he's been sleeping a lot today, but I've been trying to, like, in between each video, like, take him outside, let him walk around a little bit, so that tonight, hopefully, he's tired. So yeah, but that's what I watched last night. And then tonight, so I got caught up on that. Oh, tonight I got Only Murders in the Building. And then the season finale of Below Deck Mediterranean, but it probably won't come on until like 2 o'clock, so I don't know if I'll watch that. I've got to pick a new show to binge watch, like a new series. I'm thinking Ozark. I don't know. But anyway, this is getting really, really dark, so I'm going to get off here now. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Monday and a fantastic beginning to your week. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.